roll it.
Roll that beautiful bean footage.
Welcome back, you guys. Kickin Monday. We are post garage sale high. We're on, I guess if that's what you call it.
The high is peaked and we've come down.
It's a love-hate, really.
The adrenaline has wore off.
It's a lot of work, and we said, you still got something in your teeth.
Right.
We said, I'm not going to get it on camera. We said that we would, that's love right there. I could have let you talk the entire time and not said anything. Anyway, it's a love-hate because it was a lot of work, but we made, drum roll, on our nice plastic table because we're selling our other one, $1,100. We made $1,000. We made over $1,000, you guys. It was a great sale. It was.
So that right there is proof it could happen.
It could so happen.
And we didn't. All we did is, well, we didn't do anything. She went through the house and cleaned out every closet, every pantry, the kitchen, everything. Her closet, kids' closets, everything. So it's stuff we had in the house.
Yeah, we've been working on it for a long time, for a couple months now, but it was worth it, you guys. Maybe we'll put together a video on just like a quick, like your 2 or 3 minute video on how to have a garage sale, because we've talked about it over the years, but never like the 1, 2, 3s of a garage sale. Giving it to you guys just point blank so that you can take it and run with it, because it works. And if you have a goal that you're trying to fund, for us it was homeschool, our entire school year is paid, and startups like supplies and printer and things that we're going to use. So anyway, woo woo, garage sales behind us. Now we're going forward, and we have some fabulous questions. You guys cracked me up in the comments, the Magic Mike episode last week.
Was that last week? I thought that was the week before for some reason.
It was so funny. This lady, she says the Magic Mike comment was even funnier because he didn't know what the movie was.
Yeah, I looked that up after the fact. Yeah, that was a wrong comment. That was a foot and mouth moment there.
It made, anyway, I thought we'd get more hate, and we got just you guys busting your guts, and it was great. It was just something that you couldn't, it was so good you couldn't even make it up. So, okay, we're gonna get started. We have so many questions, you guys. We're
3
growing.
pages.
Our little channel's growing a lot, and we're getting a ton of questions. Okay, so for the first one, for the negative family and friends, remember there was a question last week that we answered, and it was in regards to what do you tell your fans, your friends and your family members that aren't exactly, that think you're crazy for doing this plan. And we addressed that a little bit, but here's another comment that I loved. For the negative family and friends, I had to tell some people to respect our choices even if they didn't agree. You need to set boundaries and be frank but loving, and tell them you are aware of how they feel, so there's no need to keep telling you. I have also shown people how living this way is actually less stressful. I agree. Some get it, some don't. It's fine either way. Keep up the good work. And that was just, some people, that's with anything, like that's more than finances. That's with your faith. That's what with how you're raising your kids, how you choose to have kids, if you adopt, if you have, whatever. I mean, you just do the best you can with what you've got. You're not going to please everybody, and you keep going.
I love there's no need to keep telling me about it.
It's so true. Yep, it's so true. And then this is another comment from last week that I loved. Oh boy, do we know this stupid page well, laugh out loud. We were that couple when we got married. We still shake our heads and wonder how in the cornbread world we got to where we are. We aren't perfect. We aren't perfect, but we've made leaps and bounds, and we are grateful for the journey. I love these videos. Makes you feel like you're not alone. Thank you guys for taking the time to answer questions and help others. We like the tough loves. They've helped us out a lot.
That's a good one. Was it holy cornbread? How in the cornbread?
How in the cornbread world did we get here?
That's good stuff right there.
Those are the best. You make these episodes so much fun. Okay, I royally boofed, last week.
Yeah, after reading some of these comments, we totally missed it.
Caravan is not a minivan as it is in the United States.
Yeah.
It's known.
Across the pond, it's RV.
It's an RV or a trailer. I'm so sorry, you guys. I totally messed that up. Even our Australian friends said, hey, we call it a caravan for a trailer in Australia too. Mm-hmm. So anyway, okay. Back to that. This viewer was asking what expense to their family? Do they just purchase a travel trailer or a caravan?
I think it was like $4,500 is what they wanted to spend, wasn't it?
Yeah. Well, yeah, something like that. But okay, so anyway, there was a couple comments made, and then this lady that actually asked the question, she said she tried tent camping, but with 2 of her kids, they have medical issues and have made it very difficult. It became more of a chore than a rest. Mm-hmm. This is the only reason we are looking at a camper or a caravan. This is exactly why we finally bit the bullet and invested in a travel trailer. Tent camping is fabulous, but we like to camp like weekend in and weekend out all the time, year round even, and it's really rainy and cold in Oregon.
And I agree with her on the tent thing can be more of a chore because we'd roll up to our spot and the girls would kind of go over and kick their feet up on the picnic table and they'd be like, "When's the tent gonna be ready? When can I ride my bikes? When can I take a nap?"
We looked at each other and we were like, our parents never made it look like this much work when we were growing up. Like we had this false sense of what tent camping was, and then we had 3 of our own tiny blessings, humans, and I was like, this is a joke. I am more exhausted than if we were to just stay home.
Stay home, take a nap.
And we looked at each other and we were like, we don't want to not camp their entire childhood. So I would say every family is different. Your priorities are different and what you want to spend your money on. I think tent camping is fabulous.
If you're single.
Well, 4 kids. No, I shouldn't. I know not everyone's going to agree, but for us, it makes life easier, and we see family more often because it's easier for us just to hook up to the travel trailer and go. So our grandparents are getting older. There was a huge priority shift for us, and we're like, it's just time to do it. So if it is a priority of yours, I'd say pay cash. Just do it and pay cash and be able to afford the vacations, right? Some people buy caravans or travel trailers and they can't afford them because they're so far in debt. So don't do that. But yeah, we absolutely love ours. Hi guys, I'm 18 and I graduated from high school in 2014. I'll go ahead and take this one, okay? It's a biggie. And took a year off to work and save up to go to college. Unfortunately, my parents decided to get a divorce. And all of the money I saved for school, I had to loan to my dad to help him pay the mortgage. Oh, my parents were never good with money. And after my mom left the house, my dad couldn't afford to pay for it by himself. My dad has a lot of consumer debt, and I don't think I will be seeing any of that money, which totals to be $5,000. Oh, now I'm planning to go to college this September, but don't know how I should handle paying. I was planning on getting a student line of credit to pay for the school fees, which will be around $5,000 for my first year. Each of my parents will be giving me $450 a month to pay for living expenses. I want to start off my adult life right, and I don't want to have mass amounts of debt when I graduate school. What do you guys think I should do? Should I go to school now, or should I continue to work until I have enough to pay for my tuition? Also, do you think I should take an FPU course or something else from Dave Ramsey? I want to learn how to handle money and make a budget. I'm from Canada, so I wouldn't be able to do it at my church. I would have to take it online. I love your channel and how you help so many people. Thank you and God bless you. Love, Kristen. Kristen, I wish I could just give you a giant hug right now because you have a lot of pressure on you. Most kids your age do not have that kind of a pressure. We're going to lift you up. That's what we're going to do. We're going to encourage you. We're going to love on you and try and help steer you in the right direction. You're doing everything right. I'm so proud of you for being so responsible and saving up that first $5,000. It's heartbreaking as a parent to know that it helped pay a mortgage. That part makes me really sad. But here's what I would do. You can add your 2 cents after. So I would, the way that you go to school without a bunch of debt is you go to a community college. I don't know if in Canada you guys have something. A community college in America is not a university. You get the same degree, like an associate's degree. You can get your transfer degree at a community college. It is like a third of the cost of a university, and then transfer to where you want to go in 2 more years once you get here. So I don't know, does Canada have those kinds of, I really don't know, but do that as an option if you can. Work your little tail end off. You are going to be so proud of yourself when you can swing college and pay cash. So get a job even you can cash flow college on a minimum wage job and work hard, do school, work, and do your homework and nights that you're off or whatever, and just pay for it in cash and work with your college and see if they'll allow you to, if you don't have enough to start next month, because it starts next month, see if you can be set up on a payment plan and get a job if you don't already have one. But
sounds like she does.
Going to college and working, we were married, but going to college and working was the best character building experience for us ever.
It was tough, but it laid the foundation of how hard work's done.
And you're
how you
really
can get things done when you put hard work in.
That's right. And another thing, I know that you said your parents are going to help support you. Do not count on that money. They have so many other things going on that although they love you, their priorities financially might be in other areas. And just do not count on that money from them and act as if you don't have it. If you do get it, wonderful. It will help pay your tuition, lower your tuition bill. But if you don't, live in a modest apartment, something that you can cash flow, and you can do this, sister. You are driven. Just by your question, I can see that you're a driven kid, and you're going to excel at whatever you set your mind to. So anything else you want to tell her?
Yeah, here comes the tough love. I should put my sunglasses on for this. Two things. One is if you're in Canada and you're going to take the Dave Ramsey thing online, do it tomorrow. Start tomorrow if you can afford it. That way
get it.
You can get it, you can start on the plan or whatever, and you can get moving in the right direction there financially. Second is, if dad's poor with his money and your hand, and again, this is the tough love part of me. If dad's bad with his money and you're giving him money and you're not going to receive it back, here's a couple things you need to have a conversation with dad. Mm-hmm. Sell something. If you can't afford the house, it's time to let it go. If the split has created that, or I can't afford something, because that is just going to suck you down.
Do not feel like you need to come to your parents' aid.
I mean, I understand why you're doing it, but at the same time, if
it's going to suck you in.
It's going to suck you in if it's one of those things where if you help out enough, just enough that he's able to keep it, but he's always going to be broke, then you're both always going to be broke. Mm-hmm. He needs to realize that if this is a life-changing thing through divorce and there's no reconciliation or anything like that, then it's time to make big changes.
Or
sell a car or whatever. You said he's got a lot of consumer debt. It's time to unload some debt.
Yeah. And it's as a mom, as a parent, this question frustrates me because here you are, you're brand new, you're starting out, you're going to college, you're doing everything right. And yet your parents are sucking your finances dry, which you don't have a lot of finances, and it's just wrong. And any parent should know not to do that to their kid, right? If you are one of those parents, stop it. Give your kids as much room to fly and succeed
But I would say, what Christine said, but get on the financial peace track online and have that hard conversation with your dad.
Do it. Take it.
Because like she said, if they're both going to pay you $450 a month, but yet you're paying your dad to make the mortgage payment, you're probably not going to get that $450, or he's just going to turn around and give you your money back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's
unless it's a court-ordered thing, but you just don't count on it, sister. And I'm going to be praying for you, and you keep us posted on you because we love you too. And I'm just so sorry, but you know what? You can make this. You can make something really beautiful out of this mess. It's you. It's your choice and your outlook. So go get it.
My husband and I do not have any children, but would like to start a family very soon. I have heard many people say you will never be financially ready for a baby. How do you feel about that? What does it mean to be financially ready for your family?
This is an amazing question because any person who has planned for a family, that thought has probably crossed their mind. At least it did with Tennessee for us.
Yep.
Do we wait? And Zoe being our first.
Yeah.
And do you put an impossible date and then you miss having a family altogether because, it's a good question.
I mean, I agree that there's probably no perfect time to have a kid, but you can do some planning.
Financially ready.
Financially, you can do planning for it.
I think financially ready means several things to different people, to everybody too. I would look at your own situation and sit down with your husband and write down goals that you guys have, and maybe they're baby goals financially, like I want to pay off all my credit cards, then we'll start a family. But things like paying cash for a house, I wouldn't recommend holding off, which I think is another question. I would not recommend holding off starting a family until you have a cat, unless you're close, until your house is paid for. So I would say if you can get out of debt as much as possible, get your emergency fund up there, because babies are expensive.
We're going to burst your bubble. Kids cost. They cost money.
But it's totally worth it.
Yes.
Get yourself in a good place where you feel good about where you're at. And then let that be your gauge is, okay, now you'll know. There'll be something inside of you. You'll just kind of walk differently. You'll have this peace to you, and you know that you'll be ready then.
But, I mean, that's not saying you can't do your homework. Like, when we had our kids, like, especially Tennessee, being debt-free and everything, I mean, I called the hospital, I called the insurance company, I called everyone I could to know what the fees were going to be, what the charges were going to be. So by the time everything come out, we knew that,
before it came out,
we knew that it was going to be, say, $3,500 before we went into it. We knew that. So we knew we could start saving for that or whatever. I mean, I wouldn't just go into it willy-nilly and just be like, whatever it is, it is.
That's good advice. Talk to your insurance company.
And then, you know, being when we had Zoe, our first, you know, we had to have everything brand new, and we had to have everything under the sun. And we look back now when we had Tennessee, we didn't buy a fifth of the stuff we bought with Zoe, and then everything we bought for Tennessee was either used or experienced clothing. And it was just fine. I think we did better with Zoe Tennessee than we did with Zoe.
Because we didn't buy into that, everything has to be new, which is not always you.
There are some things I suggest, like your car seat and stuff, because they do have expiration dates. You get those new. But clothes and bouncies and high chairs and... Like,
for example, Tennessee wore this cutest, sweetest white dress to church today, and everyone thought she was the cutest thing. I paid $4 at a consignment sale.
Yeah.
So... it's more fun that way. So there's another thing to think about.
Just plan is all I'm saying. Is just look into everything and kind of, it's like doing a budget, I guess.
If you guys have a ton of student loans and you know that you can't pay those off before you want to start a family, have a plan for paying off those student loans. And maybe you won't get to stay home with your babies. Maybe you'll have to go back to work to help that plan, to see that plan through. So it's really hard without knowing your whole situation, but just plan. I love you guys. I'm a 21-year-old college student, and I will graduate with the FAFSA loan money. I will have to also buy a car, figure out a place to live and such once I graduate in May. If you had any advice for a recent college graduate wanting to live debt-free, what would it be?
Get a job. Get a job now. Mm-hmm. If you don't. If you do, perfect. Now,
do you have any student loans? I'm not reading that.
I don't know what an FAFSA was. That's probably a type of student loan, probably.
No, I think it's a scholarship, isn't it? Let me know. What is FAFSA? I think it's a scholarship. Our kiddos aren't quite there yet. Anyway, even better if you don't have student loans, you get to start out completely debt-free. If you do have student loans, take out 1 job, 2 jobs, whatever it takes to work your little hiney off before that husband comes and that family comes, and you will be having other things that will be eating up your finances. So.
And it says you have to buy a car. We'll buy a cheap $500 car.
Yeah, you will not regret it. Nope. I promise. That's awesome. Yay for you. How exciting.
We all done?
No. I'll let you read that one.
I could really use some tough love. I've slacked so bad lately and have some debt I need to work on paying off. I know I can do this. Just when you live alone sometimes, it's hard to stay accountable. Yes, it is.
It's not impossible, though. Tough love. You gave us permission. This is really hard because I'm the free spirit and I always feel sorry for you guys that don't have someone like him to keep you.
The tough love it's a slippery slope, because that can't be your best friend, because you need someone to slap you around a little bit sometimes. Yeah. And so I would say, if you're part of a church, maybe somebody that's at church or a family member. I mean, it can be a family member or a friend or whatever, but it's got to be someone, like I said, that will give it to you between the eyes and not sugarcoat it and say, well, hey, let's go shopping and talk about it.
Yeah.
And
it almost should be someone that you're not comfortable with. But look around you. Who are the people who are excellent at handling and managing their money? Who are the people who have their stuff together, their retirement accounts, their investments, Dave Ramsey has this line, and he got it from somebody, I'm not sure where he got it, but it's, look at people who are doing things right and copy them. So
if you want to be
successful, do what successful people are doing. If you don't want to be successful, then do what people that are failing are doing. You know, something like that. So look, there's somebody. We all have those people in our lives, and it may be uncomfortable to ask them, but on the flip side, they might also make time for you, and then above.
But I tell you what, the more uncomfortable it is, the easier it is going to be to change. I mean, if we were made uncomfortable in the beginning to focus or to shift our focus on what we were doing, it would have changed a lot sooner.
That's right.
We would have been debt-free a long time ago.
That's right. So think about those people, you guys.
Yeah.
All of you, not just to the person asking this question. Think about the person around you, those people around you that are really good with their money, and do what they're doing. And maybe take them out to coffee and just start a conversation. So me and my husband just found out that we are pregnant with our first baby. Congratulations, you guys. That's so exciting.
Don't turn it back now, right?
Don't say that. It's all good. You're going to love having a baby. It's exciting. I'm still very early on in my pregnancy, and I was wondering, what items do you feel are most important to get for the new baby, and a time frame of when to get the items in the 9 months? Me and my husband have made a budget and put a sinking fund of $400 a month for baby expenses.
See, the person just asked that question like 3 questions back. Look at that. They're doing $400 a month for 9 months, so they're going to have $3,600 at birth.
Yeah. I'm so excited for you guys. Okay, so items, we kind of talked about it.
Most important, car seat.
Car seat and crib was really up there for us. If it wasn't a gift, we bought it brand new.
And it was, and I want to drop a little asterisk here. I think you get what you pay for on that. And we had always kind of gone with not the cheapest model, but kind of like up from the cheapest model on car seats. Yeah. And then one of our friends had a terrible accident here about a year ago, and her daughter was in the car wreck, and they had a really nice, well-built car seat, and the daughter
it was amazing.
Had very little injuries.
Yeah,
and so that changed our shift, and thought, you know what? We have older cars because they're budget cars and everything. They don't have 36,000 airbags in them. So I thought, well, maybe it'd be best for us to maybe upgrade our car seats to a little bit better one, just in case something ever happened. I would want our kids to be safe, and we did that.
We did. So we upgraded to Britax.
The Britax models, and
great, amazing reviews.
They're amazing. They're
this
great.
This little girl survived this car accident because she was in one.
But they cost a little bit. That's just why I wanted to say, put that out there.
Maybe budget for a nicer, if that's something that's important to you.
It was important to us.
It was life-changing to us. So do that. My biggest thrill out of dressing 3 little girls is to buy the outfits I see at Target or the mall that I love, Carter's, all those places, and buy them used, because no one knows the difference, especially when they're tiny little bundles. They don't even they grow so fast, they don't even have a chance to wear out their clothes. So you can get those.
Piece of advice, start hitting some garage sales, man. Well, it's summertime, because you got tons of baby stuff out there, and it's all new. Or
the
it's
garage
brand
sales that are unloading all their baby stuff. Yeah.
You'll get so much stuff for almost nothing.
They'll be so excited for you, they'll probably knock a lot of money off.
Yeah.
I do that.
We do that.
Okay, so this person is copying and pasting their comment from last week. I hope we get a chance to answer. Okay, so we're answering. Hello, and thank you so much for these Debt Kickin videos. We don't have FPU here in the UK, but it only took a couple of online videos from Dave Ramsey and your channel to motivate us to get debt free. Yay! Me and my husband have just completed baby step 1 and saved our $1,000. It's euros, but $1,000. We are just about to begin baby step 2. However, we have a new car that is 3 years old that we get through a Motability scheme. This is an allowance in England where a disabled person can substitute some of their disability benefit for entitlement to a car. Thank you for explaining. But because we don't require a vehicle to be adapted in any way, we have worked out that it will be cheaper for us to give the Motability car back and buy our own used car. This means the €200 each month that pays for the car will come back to us instead. Our question is this. So now we have €1,000 set aside for a used vehicle and 1,000 for our emergency fund. Good job. 1,000 here will only get us a really old car that may last 1 to 2 years if we are lucky. We can't decide whether to add our $1,000 emergency fund to the $1,000 car fund to get us a slightly better car that will last until we are debt free. I should not say dollars because I don't think that the equivalent is the same. I'm sorry. It's euros. €1,000 emergency fund to the €1,000 car fund to get us a slightly better car that will last until we are debt free and go back to the beginning of baby step 1? Or do we stick to trying to get a car with €1,000 only? Going without a car is not an option for us. What is the most sensible thing to do? We would be grateful, so grateful for your advice. Thank you so much. You are so sweet.
You get what you can afford.
I love questions like this because we learn so much more about you guys in different countries. How cool is this? It doesn't matter what country you're in, you get what you can afford.
You still get cheap cars, yeah.
What you have cash for.
And if you can get a car that gets you 2 years, that's awesome. And in 2 years, you reevaluate it, or a year from now, you can start saving for a little bit better of a car. But if you're in a pinch and you only have what you only have, I mean, you can only squeeze so much lemonade out of a lemon, you know what I mean?
Because on the flip side, if you get a car payment, it's going to slow down your baby step 2 so incredibly much. And you will feel discouraged and those are natural feelings to have. So our advice would be to pay cash for whatever it is that you can afford. Be creative. Maybe ask people around you if they're selling a car. You could get a friend discount. A lot of people do that. A lot, especially like in our church, there's older people that are selling their cars, and because you have that relationship with somebody, they may give you a really great deal. So think about that. Granny cars are okay because they're the ones that are going to last a long time for $500.
My husband and I are so close to being debt free. Just paid off the car today. Woohoo!
Hey, good job!
Only $12,000 left of the $51,000.
Ooh. Remember that feeling of paying off the car and how good it felt? I'm so sorry. It's so exciting!
Can you hold that just till I'm done reading?
Then you can carry on.
Song and dance.
I'll just have a party in my
You have
head.
Magic Mike moment too. We're on the same page as far as the budget goes, but he will not let go of the credit card. He can't fathom not earning the 2% back. It's like I'm blaspheming when I mentioned cutting it up. We've compromised on only using it for monthly bills, phone, internet, Netflix, and gas. Should I persuade him to cut it up? Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Why are you paying your monthly bills with a credit card? Yeah.
You guys are just like kicking debt, and you don't need that card hanging around.
You can't serve two masters in this. You can't serve MasterCard and your desire to be completely debt free. Like that just doesn't work.
You guys are doing so good. You don't need the card. Get rid of the card.
Okay, so what would we tell him? Because you can totally blame it on us. Turn the video on and we'll just talk like we're speaking to him too.
Sir. It's okay to live without the card, sir.
It is, and if it's not okay, you can come and talk to us, and
put the plastic down and step away from the car, sir.
Car, sir. You do not need it. Good news: cash is accepted everywhere, including paying your bills.
Yeah.
You guys,
yeah.
You can do this. Sir, I would tell you too how proud I am of you and your wife. You're doing a fabulous job.
If you're doing to get your 2% back, here's an idea. Why don't you guys bump down your phone? Like if it's cell phones, bump down your gigabytes or something per month, or your internet or something like that, or your Netflix. You could bump one of those probably down one level, and you're getting way more than 2% back.
And you're not at the feet of the MasterCard or Visa and just like bowing down to them. That's the part that made me throw away our credit cards, is that they were in control and we weren't.
So if you're only paying your phone, your internet, Netflix, Netflix is probably what, $10 a month, your internet's probably like $50 a month, and your phone's probably what, $150. So that's like what, close to $200 a month, and you get 2% of that. What is that? $2? Am I doing that right? $2. I'm going to say no on that, but anyway.
Okay, do you ever use layaway? In Australia, we call it layby. Am I saying it right?
Lay-by.
Lay-by. Sorry. I'm terrible, you guys. Or do you consider it a debt? Not sure if it works the same way over there as it does here, where you pay a small service fee, normally $2 or $3, and then have between 8 to 12 weeks to pay it off. Also, just a tip for those of you who are having trouble getting your partners on board with the program. It took a while for my husband to agree to this debt-free journey. What did it for him was that I added up how much money we were paying in interest alone every month. He was shocked and has been fully behind our debt-free journey ever since. Good job, you guys. High stinking five.
My question for you though is, I agree with Layaway. That's awesome.
I think
It's great
because it's a forced plan.
Yeah, but I guess over here on this side of the pond, we just do it as like a.
I come from the land down under. We're whipping.
We just create a sinking fund envelope
They're
here at
from
home.
Australia, do you know that?
I put that together. That way, so basically what you're doing is you have an envelope system, you're giving the layaway department and you're just paying that, and then when you pay it off, they'll give you the product. We do it at home and then we just take the money in at one time and pay for it. So it's the same type of thing, it just doesn't cost the $2 to $3 service fee.
And there might be a service.
You can just pick the wrong moments to do stuff like that.
I thought it was great. Oh, I haven't laughed that hard. Thank you guys. I haven't laughed that hard. You don't even know what's going on. Layaway, anyway. See ya.
You're actually crying. Are you serious? Wow.
Oh, come on, guys. Sing it. Is it Men at Work? I come from the land under.
All right, we're going to leave you with that for the day.
We have laughed so much that we've missed questions. Anyway, Layaway is fabulous. I love it. I love it. I love it. Christmas is coming, you guys. What is it? Have you seen those things on Facebook? It's like only 12 Fridays till Christmas or whatever it is. So get a plan. Start thinking about the holidays and how you're going to fund Christmas this year. Get an envelope. Put Christmas on it. Christmas 2015. Stash some cash and be prepared.
All right, guys.
We'll talk more about that.
That was another fun-filled 30 minutes of laughter and crying. We love you guys.
You have the song stuck in your head?
Yeah, no. So.
We do love you so, so much. And if we didn't get to your question because I was hysterically a mess, just copy and paste it, please.
Yeah. Hold on, pull that up. All right, guys, so we're wrapping up. Debt Kickin' Monday. I always want to say Debt Kickin' Sunday because it was Sunday forever. So we're wrapping that up. But
we have something we want to talk to you guys about.
But before we close it out, we want to talk about this. So Vlogger Fair 2015 is in like 10 days, 12 days.
It's next
2
week.
weeks. Is it next week? Whatever it is.
It
is next week.
It's not far from us. It's
so
4 hours away in Seattle, Washington.
We had every intention of going, and we already bought our tickets and everything, but we've had a family expense come up, and so we had to evaluate, because we're budget people, we had to evaluate the situation, and it was either we pay for this family expense or we go to Vlogger Fair. And so the budget part of me took over, and so we're gonna have to go with the family expense because that's more important than the Vlogger Fair, unfortunately. Yeah. It's a terrible decision and we had to make, but I mean that we had to pick one or the other, but that's life. And so we just want to let you guys know that we
unfortunately
aren't going to be there
at Vlogger Fair this year, and we are going to miss all of you. And we were hoping to do a meetup and all of this stuff, and it's been really hard for us to not go, but then we looked at each other and we're like, our family comes first.
Yeah.
If there's an expense that any of us need, then that trumps any trip.
So we'll miss you.
We'll be there next year.
The good news is though, as of like here in a couple months, we're gonna have a Vlogger Fair envelope started. So we're gonna be putting that away in there every what do you call it, month, and
yeah. And to tell you the truth, you guys, this garage sale was supposed to be our Vlogger Fair money.
Yeah.
And we ended up homeschooling and we put down all of our homeschool costs, and we needed more money than we had originally thought. So
yeah. Well, we started looking at the plans and they were a little more expensive than we thought. So.
Well, we needed a printer. There's just startup stuff that we need. So that's what we're doing.
It's a family decision, and we love you guys, and hopefully you respect that. And like I said, we'll catch you next year, and we'll be there. And
I hope to do VidCon next year.
And your thoughts and stuff. Whoa!
I know, wouldn't that be fun as a family to go to VidCon? And in California.
3 minions all day long.
Good time. Good times. Meetups. Lots of meetups.
Apparently, there's further discussion there.
Anyway, you guys, give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, if we helped you out in any way, or made you feel like that one girl wrote that you're not alone in this. We absolutely love you, and don't take this lightly, this privilege that we get to cry and make jokes about different countries. It's great.
Wow.
Okay, I'll let you sign off.
Throw the shrimp on the barbie!
I come from the land down under. Where women go and men thunder. Can't you hear the thunder?
Alrighty then. Back to wagon up here. The only reason they settled is because she had the $3,000 cash when that bill came
Because
in.
they had saved it from
Yeah.
getting rid of the car. And sometimes, you guys, it is just best to leave the keys in the car and say, come get it, because I can't afford it. Instead of trying to keep your head